4 in 10 people believe in ghosts. Over a third of people believe intelligent life exists outside of Earth. 43% of people believe demons exist. There are unexplained phenomena happening daily around the globe, and we are here to talk about it. Your portal into UFOs, paranormal, cryptids, the supernatural, the mysterious, the unknown. I see you. This is Beyond the Radar, and this is your host, Humanoid Tom Conway.
Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Radar, your paranormal news program. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in Mississippi. Not to mention all over streaming, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. And we're here to talk about some cool and crazy stuff today. And today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest. Has anyone out there heard of My Paranormal Nightmare? Hey, Nikki, what's going on? Has anyone ever heard of My Paranormal Nightmare? It was on the Discovery Network, so ID or Travel or one of those channels. Excuse me. Lately, and it's in season 1, episode 9. There's a woman on there, Nina, who has a horrible encounter when she was growing up and messing around with a spirit board. It's not a Ouija board, but it's sort of similar, and reciting incantations. And what answered those incantations was something very horrible. So we, of course, are going to get into that here in a little bit, but I want to hear from everybody. Please continue to chime in. Our text board is 484-283-5328. And feel free to send text messages or anything like that. We'd love to talk about it. Now, Nina's schedule had changed last minute, so I taped this interview a little bit before. It's not going to take the whole episode, but I'm going to play it. And any questions, I can follow up with her. And, of course, we are continuing our Summer of Species here on the United Public Radio Network and Beyond the Radar. And we're going to be talking about atmospheric beasts today. So rods, jellyfish, really cool, interesting things in the sky that I hadn't known about, but we'd love to, we'd love to talk about all the things that we know and we don't know. Loyal Americans, we love that, don't we? So I'm going to play this interview clip for everyone, and you can really hear the terror that she still has in this. And unfortunately for Nina, this hasn't gone away completely. There isn't a fairy tale happy ending story so far. So please keep her in your thoughts too, because she's still out there battling in wherever she is. I think she said Georgia, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and play this, and let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys here in a little bit after this is done playing. So here's about a good 20-30 minute interview that we have. All right. So, Nina, thank you for joining Beyond the Radar. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me. No
problem. So, not very often do we have a celebrity on, on Beyond the Radar. So, you were on the first season of My Paranormal Nightmare with your incredible story of when you were younger and the paranormal hauntings that happened. So I just want to say, before we get into the actual story, how did your appearance on that show come to be?
Oh, I always followed people on Facebook, like I'm in paranormal groups, and there was a casting call for if you were a child had experience fly. So I didn't going to be picked, and I got a phone call. I was on the
Awesome. That's great. So you just reached out and somebody reached back out to you. That's wonderful. no rounds of interviews or anything like that, but that's good. So I guess I have a little advanced knowledge before the audience. I had watched your episode, and it is very creepy and very spooky, and they did a good job of the reenactment. It sounded, a lot. They showed a lot of what you were saying, you know what I mean, to be true on that. So let's dive into it. So this story starts when you are about 14 years old, correct?
14, 15. That was
Okay. And so you're about 14, 15, and you had, I'm sure you probably couldn't say the name of it, but it was a spirit box or a Ouija board that you had, right?
Can I say it?
I'm sorry, your mic's cutting in and out again.
Sorry. Can I say what it was?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it was called Psychic Circle.
Okay.
It was like a spirit board. It wasn't the actual board.
Okay. All right. So it was similar though, correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So now did you purchase this or I know your cousin was in the episode too. How did that come about?
Oh, my dad, we were at the store in the mall, and my dad, I found it, and I asked my dad if I could buy it, which was like a big no-no in the house. So I had to hide it because my grandma was really religious, and she would have burned the board outside if she. So my dad actually bought the board for me.
Okay, gotcha. And so I can totally relate to that. My grandmother, Italian Catholic, so I have 9 aunts and uncles, and very religious and everything. As to so I can relate to that. So did you almost have to keep it hidden in sort?
Yes, like a lot of my the spirit, the psychic circle, I had to hide, and then I had books that I purchased that I also that because it had spells and like conjuring spells, I had to hide from my grandmother.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. So, all right. So it's cool. Teenage girl. You got your cousin. You got this thing that you're hiding. You know, not many people know about in the house. What? Let me start this way. What made you take that step into, let's actually try something?
When I was growing up, my grandparents' house, it was well known as like it was haunted.
Okay.
My 60s and 70s saw an apparition. When I was there, my parents got divorced. We went with my grandparents, and I couldn't sleep in my room because it always felt like something was watching me, like something was there. And then I would hear my blinds like opening and closing. So there was stuff going on in the house already. It just escalated when I started playing spirit board and doing conjuring spells.
And that's something I do remember from the show you talking about, that until the introduction of the incantations and spells and things, it wasn't really doing much beforehand, correct?
No.
Okay. And so once you started these incantations and spells, activity started to pick up, correct?
Yes, picked up a lot. Like very terrifying.
Okay. So let's get to that point now. So you have the incantation book, and from now correct me if I'm wrong, but you and your cousin weren't on the same page when you started reading these spells, correct?
No, she was playing with the board with me, but the spell, like, I know like what I'm doing. I was okay. Like I got a spell book. Let's try it. Like, I'm a teenager. I wasn't really thinking it. I just dived right in.
Gotcha. So, the what's it called? The adventure of it all, or the mysteriousness of all, was just too much to put away, right? So you wanted to go into that, and that's when it separated, I guess, between you and your cousin doing this to just you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how quickly after you started doing some spells did stuff pick up?
Couple of days that night, couple of days, woken up, couldn't move with something growling in my ear.
Your ear?
Yeah, something was growling in my ear. And this happened at in the morning, and it happened every night. That
Okay.
that I woke up with something in my ear, and I got like bright eyes to see what it was, like a shadow figure by my bed. But I still,
Okay, but you couldn't move. So it was almost like paralysis, almost. Okay. Now I can attest to that. I've had a few of those, and that's not a pleasant experience whatsoever. I've even heard the growls, like how you mentioned too, and even more a little bit. A couple times I felt the indentation, so like the bed, you know what I mean, like pushed down, and like something's putting their arm or forearm. You know, like if somebody sits on the side of the bed, you feel that, and then that's what I was feeling too. So I can attest that's terrifying stuff right there. But the growls you were saying, that was audible, so it wasn't something in your head, you felt and you heard right here, right? Okay. I think your mic stopped working, cut out again.
yes, I growling. I would hear. It wasn't in my mind. It's like I,
Yeah, so you felt the, you know, because the vibration, that's what it is. You felt that going into your ear and everything like that. Okay, so it started off with the shadow and the sounds, and then please continue into what it had progressed into.
well, it happened every day, and I thought it was that. So across the street is where my cousin. So I would say that I wouldn't, because I wasn't getting any sleep, as you can like tell. Like I couldn't. I was being woken up, and then if I fell back asleep, it would happen again. Like
Hmm.
nothing. So I stayed over at my aunt's house across the street where my cousin lived. And it followed me there.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yep, it followed me there. I thought it was the house, that I was gonna stay in the house because already known to be haunted. No, it followed me across the street. Same thing
Okay.
happened. Growling in my ear. So I slept on my aunt's floor in her bedroom. I still didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to get in trouble, and um, I was kind of ashamed too, and that I brought this upon myself. Remind you, like I'm 14, 15, I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking. And when I was sleeping in my aunt's room on the floor, across the hall is the bedroom that I would stay in. But it was waking me up. But I felt like something was watching me, like it was angry that I was in my aunt's room getting sleep. This was in the summertime, so
Okay.
eventually I got a job like Monday through Friday. I
Hmm.
went to the other town next to me to babysit my cousin. It followed me over there. So Monday through Friday, I stayed with my other aunt to watch my cousin. It followed me there, woke me up with the lights turning on and off, like really,
Hmm.
like it wouldn't stop until I left the room. And when I left the room, I tiptoed because my cousin was sleeping. It was like in the early morning. I heard whispering, like walking in my cousin's room. I thought he was up. But the next day, I thought that I was up, and she, no, he was sleeping in my bed. So I don't know if that was the spirit like, into that room to do something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting that you say that, because typically you're right. If it's something in a house, it's not going to follow you. You know what I mean? So whatever this attachment, I mean, it's safe to say it was at least an attachment, followed you from house to house, and not just across the street, but into other towns. So it was residing within your energy field, within your life force. You know what I mean? And drawing on you, and it seemed like it would give you clues that it didn't like a certain thing, or as evidence in, like, it would be mad at you for being in a certain room, and not, I guess, where it could attack you more or drain you more, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So see the pieces there, you know what I mean, of that puzzle. um it's following you around, it's doing the growls, and still at the same time, so at night, which, if I were to theorize, it must be that, it's gaining energy, and then at the same time, you know what I mean, it kind of comes out like
Yeah.
toothpaste out of the tube, basically, and makes itself known to you, and growls, and to get your attention, to essentially say, I'm, Nina, I'm here, I'm here, and it, hello, but not so much in a friendly hello, in a demonic hello. Okay, so we have this evidence now that it's attached to you. It's following you from place to place. It's not staying stationary, where you can find some relief, which is sad, because it's all around you 24/7. It's not, oh, I can have some peace when I'm out of the home. So let's get to the point now of the physical manifestations of what this was.
Eventually, like after I knew that it was just going to follow me, I moved back to my grandparents' house in my bedroom. Um, there was one night that I fell asleep down in the basement, because that was the coolest place. We only had the AC in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I fell asleep in the basement. I woke up hearing something coming down the stairs. I thought it was my dad, because he worked second shift, so he would come, like, because I didn't know what time it was. He would come and watch TV down in the basement. And when I looked, there was this creature that was like half goat and half human, just standing in the doorway.
Oh, wow, that's terrifying.
Yeah, the face was censored, so I couldn't see the facial features, but I noticed the large horns and the goat feet. And he
Okay.
disappeared and reappeared until he got to the end of the sofa, and he told me to go upstairs.
Oh, it talked to you.
It talked to me and told me to go.
Oh.
My grandmother wanted me. So I went upstairs, like I had to like run past it to get
Yeah.
up. And my grandmother was in the living room sleeping on the couch, and I didn't know at the time she was having dreams that I was signing a book with the devil. A couple of days after this experience, she told me, she's like, there's something going on. I keep on having dreams you're signing your name in a book with the devil.
Wow.
And I told her, oh, nothing's happening, because I was just going to deal with it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the manifestations of this creature. And then I would have dreams about him all the time.
So my first and for the audience listening, I want to help get a good physical description of this. So you're saying it was upright, huge, hybrid, so it walked on two legs, but goat legs.
Yes.
The face was like blurred, like smeared or censored, you said? Yeah. Okay. And if you could just estimate height, a normal human height, 6 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot, or do you think it was bigger, smaller?
Like maybe a little over 6 foot.
Okay.
With the horns.
Oh, with the horns. Okay, so that's what I mentioned. That's what being a radio show, I want people to try to visualize what this this is. And it spoke. How was the voice? Deep, like demonic, or?
It was deep and demonic, telling me to go upstairs. My grandmother wanted me.
Okay, so forceful.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wanted you to go upstairs. You got up there. You found out she had this dream, but this wasn't until a couple days later. What did it want for you to go up there for?
Till this day, I don't know. Like my grandmother,
Okay.
and so I don't know at the same time if she was having that dream at that moment, because she was having it multiple times. She told me, so she knows, like, because with my grandmother, she knows, like, when she dreams, sometimes she would dreams like numbers, and she would tell people to play the lotto, or like, and it would come up, like those numbers.
Wow.
Like she would sometimes, like, her dreams would come true.
Yeah. So premonitions.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's having this dream. You go up there. What it wanted. I guess when you went back to sleep, it was gone.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. At the time too, I forgot that my dad and my brother were in Rhode Island camping.
Okay, so they weren't in the house.
No.
Okay. So they weren't in the house. Was it just you two then?
And my grandfather.
And your grandfather. And yeah, so that's, I would be thinking of that too. And that's just, me probably overthinking, but like, what did it want at that point? Did I do by doing what it wanted? You know what I mean? Did I prolong? You know what I mean? I would be thinking all kinds of questions. What if but then if you disobeyed it, you're in a basement with this horned human hybrid demonic. I don't know if there is a right choice at that point.
I listened to it because I didn't know, like, if it was going to start attacking me, like,
True.
if it started disobeying. And I wanted to go upstairs anyways. I didn't want to be downstairs with this thing.
No. It's it's a terrifying thing. I give you a lot of credit for being a 14, 15-year-old girl and having, because you said you had to go past it. You know what I mean? Like having the guts really to go past it and go through what was blocking you to go upstairs. So I definitely give you a lot of credit, and I don't know if I would have done that. I'd probably be too scared. But okay, so we had this, and then you said it appeared to you other times in dreams. Was there any more messages? Like, how did the dreams happen?
There was one dream that he came, and I remember getting physically sick afterwards, like growing up, and
and okay, go ahead.
It was like just really like disgusting. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, it was just dreams.
So disgusting dreams that you had with it. And it made you physically ill, not in the dream, just in real life when you woke up.
Yeah.
So you're getting this physical reaction from something. Well, two, really. The first one, in real life, if it's a dream, you're not getting up, going upstairs. You know what I mean? And interacting. So that's the first physical reaction. The second one is you're having the illness, the sickness, the really terrible feeling that many people who have encountered demons or entities they haven't particularly liked do report. You know what I mean? Where they report that I get you have a physical real world sensation to something, which lends more credence to the fact that it actually happened. Because if there was no, when people have scratches, when people get sick, if you have none of that, it's a lot easier to chalk it up to an imagination. But this, you have a physical reaction to something. How can you deny that it wasn't real? So I definitely, understand how that is. Has it how many times would you say did you have these dreams?
During that summertime, being like woken up with something growling in my ear, probably like 5 or 6 times I would have dreams about him.
Okay.
But
did you get sick after every one?
no, just
Okay.
one.
So the other ones, was it in your room? Like how were they?
Like I would be in different like locations and he would just appear. Sometimes I would be in the house, sometimes I would be like outside and he would just appear. Like there was one dream that he was chasing after me.
Yeah. It seems like this collaborates with your grandmother's dream, that she's worried. Now her interpretation is you are voluntarily signing with the devil, but in your dreams you're not wanting to, you're trying to get away. You know what I mean? So it's almost torturing two different people at this point, in that house in two completely different ways, where it's chasing you. It wants to get you. It wants you to give your life to evil. I mean, ultimately, you can't have good without evil and vice versa. It wanted you to give your soul to evil, most likely. And when, it was conjured, going back to the toothpaste, the toothpaste out of the tube, did you have that feeling like I'm stuck with this forever now?
I thought I was going to like be stuck with it just because it was happening every day. And
Yeah.
there was always paranormal activity every single day. While like when I was younger, it was just periodically we would have stuff happen. But now it's like got more physical too.
Yeah. So before this, that paranormal activity, if you had to guess, was it like monthly, weekly, like once a year? What was it?
It was probably like monthly, like
okay,
month. But
and it would be things moved, or what would that activity be?
Footsteps. My brother actually. Yeah. I had my door closed. He would see shadow. I wouldn't be in my room. He would see shadows like walking by the door, like the bottom door. Our names being called, feeling watched, like someone was in the room with you when you were by yourself. There was another time that my brother and I were home alone, and my grandparents told us to stay inside because they were visiting my grandfather's sister. And I don't know how it happened, but we were starting to get into a fight and downstairs in the living room. And all of a sudden we heard this cackling sound and something being thrown. So we both ran out of the house. It made us stop fighting. But
so it was pretty loud then.
Yeah, this laughter was really scary. Like we both heard it because we both stopped and stared at each other. And ran
cackling like a witch kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but that stuff, yeah, that seems pretty benign compared to a demonic figure that you had afterward. I can definitely understand what you said there. But okay, so at what point did you get sick and you were sick of it and you were like, okay, I have to try to do something?
When I was sleeping and I was woken up with something actually talking, instead of growling, it was talking to me, telling me it was going to kill my family and then kill me.
Oh my God.
That's when I said, like, enough's enough. Like, I was threatening my like family now. Like it's already getting physical. Like it scratched my foot and it appeared to me down in the basement when I was by myself. That was like the last straw, like for me. Was when it was threatening my family and myself.
Excellent. So how did you go about that? Did you research how to do it? How did you find a way to fight this?
I threw out the Ouija board, and I threw out my spell book, and then that night I was woken up with something's telling me that I was going to come back.
Okay. And was that it? Did it come back, or was it just trying to threaten you?
After I wasn't getting any I wasn't woken up with anything growling at me until a couple of years when I got older and I got married and moved out, is when some activities started up again. But this was at another location. It was the condo that we bought to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hear like walking around. When I got pregnant, I would sleep on this couch because my back would hurt.
Okay.
Something would come up from the basement. Like I couldn't move still. Like I was woken up and I couldn't move. Something was coming up the stairs, like from our basement, and it jumped on the banister, and I don't know if it hit my stomach, like, but I felt like something hit my stomach. But it was like a
Wow.
black shadow figure.
But you felt the mass.
Like I thought it hurt the baby.
Oh God. And I'm sure, that was your first child.
Yeah.
So, instincts and all of that are going to kick in. You're going to fear for your child. Everything was okay, correct?
Yes, everything was okay.
All right.
He was
and
born.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He was born. This is when I saw the shadow figure and I knew it was coming back. Or it was just showing me like, hey, I'm still here kind of thing. My son was born and he had a bassinet next to my bed, and the TV was on, and I was like on my phone, but like watching TV too.
Yeah.
And when I was on my phone, I noticed, how you could still see like the TV. I noticed it was blacking out. So I looked to see, like, I thought my TV was
like going bad.
Yeah, it was going bad. Nope. It was a shadow figure walking past and then went through the wall.
Ooh.
So I felt like it was telling me, like, just because you don't have like paranormal experiences every day, but I'm still here. That's how I felt. Like,
it's reminding you.
Yeah. Like I'm around still.
Man, maybe it wants to open that communication line back up. See, you what you did was got rid of its way of communicating with you in a certain aspect, and it wants to open that up because that's what it feeds on. It was probably feeding on your fear, your worry, sadness, all of that kind of stuff, and it can't really feed enough to manifest itself without that. So, have you tried anything after that to get rid of this shadow figure?
Well, I would sage, and then we moved, and I had my second child. We moved to, and I'm 42 now. This happened when I was in my 30s, but I'm 42 now. And a couple of months ago, I was going downstairs with the laundry to the laundry room, and I saw a black hooded shadow figure walking past the banister and into the wall. It went into the wall.
Okay.
And then also my son saw it, not knowing my personal experiences with it. He was downstairs playing in the family room, and he ran up to me, and he ran up the stairs and came to me and was like really terrified. Said he saw something black and hooded, like in the bathroom, walking around.
Oh my gosh. Have you how old is the child now?
He's 12.
12. Have you had a discussion with him about your stuff before?
Not at the time when he saw the black hooded shadow, but when he saw the show that I was on, My Paranormal Nightmare, and he can't play with he's not allowed to play with Ouija boards or do any, like, I don't even play.
I get it. Yeah.
Because they said it's a game, but it opens doors. Like, it opens.
It's a manifestation portal, really, of what you don't know what you're going to get on the other side. So let's bring ourselves to current day. Where you're at now, is there still activity? Do you still have things going on, or has things quieted down?
periodically we'd have like little things go like happen, like seeing the shadow figures. We had a pony toy that you would ride on and it would neigh.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
that would go off like all the time with no one around. And you have to like move the horse to make it neigh.
Yeah. It wouldn't just do it on its own.
Yeah, I was doing it by itself.
Wow.
My son said his there was something hanging on his door and it started moving by itself. So he ran out of his room. But it's just periodically because I think
nowhere near like what it was before.
No, and I think it's trying to come back, but like no one's playing with the spirit board. No one's like doing any occult activities that it can't really.
It wants to get more powerful, and you guys aren't giving the tools to allow it to get more powerful, basically. Wow, that's a fantastic, paranormal story. I can definitely see why they wanted you on the show. I have you thought of saging again, or blessing your house, or anything like that?
I was gonna actually have someone come and like try to like clear it because I don't the house. I think it's like an attachment.
Okay.
Because it followed me like from house to house and even like from town to town.
Yeah. So you figure it's on your aura.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you after this a person I know who I think you should talk to. Her name's June Edwards, and she's a wonderful person that would love to be able to help you out. And I've read a lot of books by her. She's a real deal. I'll send you her information, and you can just let her know, hey, you talked to me, you're on my show, and I gave you her contact and all of that. Where she can do a lot of this stuff virtually with remote viewing and things like that, and see you can start there, but we'll try to get you help for whatever whatever you want, because there is a big difference. And that's what I want people to know is, we can't call everything demonic because it belittles what demonic activity like this actually is. And if you hear footsteps outside, or you have the residual haunts and things like that, that doesn't necessarily make it demonic. You know what I mean? And it takes away from people who have true experiences such as yourself. And basically I was told, you'll know it's demonic. You know what I mean? If something just scares you because you don't know what it is, that's one thing. But a demonic entity would make itself known to you that, hey, I'm the real deal. And, when we have stories like this, we need to reach out and help, because, we can't have us on this side, in this dimension, 3-dimension. You know what I mean? We can't have us being attacked by things, because look, life's already hard enough. We don't need any more of this stuff going on to hurt and people on this side. So yeah, no, your story's incredible. I can definitely see why they picked you. If any other stories come up that I from other guests on the show, I'll invite you back on to see if we can match stories, you know what I mean, and see if the feelings were the same and all of that. But thank you so much for being on our show. Your story is incredible. Watch My Paranormal Nightmare. I believe it's episode 9, season 1, episode 9. And Nina, do you have anything? Where can people find you and all of that?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I did write 2 ebooks. Paranormal Activity in the Silver City, which is based what was happening in my life when I was 14, 15. And then Our Real Ghost Stories. It's a collection of people's real experience with the paranormal.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So send me those links, and when I put this as the podcast version, I'll include them in the show notes.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank. All right, that was a little bit of the interview that we did with Nina. She's a wonderful person. Please reach out to her. She'll talk to anybody about it, which is really cool. And that's how I got to know her. Was she had commented on some of the cool pages, Facebook pages that I had, and we kind of got matched that way through that. And it was definitely unique to have somebody because look, I'll be honest, I've never met anybody from those shows, and you know what those shows are. You see them on TV, ID Discovery, all of that kind of stuff. And maybe you have your own questions that you want to ask these people, and it's really cool that they reach out, or she at least reached out and was like, "Hey, I'll tell everybody. I'll tell anybody what happened to me." So I thought that was really very interesting, really cool. And Nikki, yeah, I told you should probably reach out to her too. I'll get in contact with you about her, but she would be a wonderful guest for yours as well. And you guys can compare, especially I know you're doing demonology and things like that. I know she might be a good guest for you in that realm too. So we're going to take a break right now for a commercial, and then we're going to get into our summer of species, and we'll talk about these atmospheric beefs. Well, yeah, long day. Atmospheric beasts. And you might know them as like jellyfish or rods or things like that, but we'll get into them after the break and see what we can get into. So stick around. 105.3 on the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
4 in 10 people believe in ghosts. Over a third of people believe intelligent life exists outside of Earth. 43% of you believe demons exist. We invite you to Beyond the Radar, your paranormal news show. If it's unexplained phenomena happening daily around the globe, we're talking about it. Exploring the unexplained, challenging the conventional, and diving deep into the shadows that lurk just beyond our perception. Come join the transmission on the United Public Radio Network. Once you come, you'll never be the same.
Meet Daniel Knight, a psychologist with an extraordinary gift to absorb and heal the deepest wounds of the mind. In the heart of a chilling investigation, every secret unraveled binds him closer to darkness. But as he delves into the psyche of a killer, his own demons emerge. Caught in a battle within and against an evil that seeks to exploit his powers, where the line between savior and victim blurs. Dare to heal the wounds of the mind. Healer. Read it today.
Do you want to reach millions with your product or service? Are you looking to connect with a diverse, intelligent, and engaged audience? Then look no further. Beyond the Radar radio show is your golden ticket to achieving just that. Our listeners are curious, open-minded, and always eager to learn. They value quality, authenticity, and innovation, just like your brand. With Beyond the Radar, your advertisement will be heard by millions of dedicated listeners. Our show covers a wide range of topics, attracting a diverse audience that could be your next loyal customers. So why wait? Take your brand to Beyond the Radar and into the hearts and minds of millions. Advertise with us. Let's explore the extraordinary together. Beyond the Radar radio show, where your brand meets a world of curious minds. Contact us today for advertising opportunities at www.beyondtheradarnews.com and fill out our contact form. We hope to talk to you soon.
Samantha survives a tragic accident thanks to Lucian, an enigmatic being. Her newfound abilities catch the attention of a secretive government agency. Drawn to Lucian despite the danger, Samantha is unaware of his true identity. She teams up with Lucian's brothers in a daring mission to rescue him. Accused unfairly, Lucian seeks refuge on his distant homeworld. Can Samantha prove Lucian's innocence and save their forbidden love? From the Sky by J.E. Nicasio. Available now. Get your copy on Amazon and BNN.
Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what lies beyond? Have you ever felt a sense of curiosity about mysterious lights darting across the sky? If so, my UFO 101 Unveiling the Unknown course is just for you. This course is a comprehensive introduction into the fascinating world of unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrial life. It is designed for beginners, so no prior knowledge is required. I am your instructor, Tom. I am an author, podcast host, and seasoned researcher in the field ready to debunk common myths and misconceptions. So are you ready to embark on an exciting journey to unravel the secrets of the universe? Join us at UFO 101 Unveiling the Unknown, and let's explore the unknown together. Don't let this free opportunity fly away. Enroll now and start your journey into the intriguing world of UFOs and extraterrestrial life. All right, welcome back, everyone. 105.3 on the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM in New Orleans. So now, after that wonderful break and interview of My Paranormal Nightmare, and you can get the whole reenactment thing that those shows do. It's wonderful, and I checked it out. It's very entertaining. But now we're going to shift gears here to atmospheric beasts and continue our Summer of Species 2024. So atmospheric beasts, I didn't understand if they were a species of ufology or not, but they kind of barely count. But they count. That's what matters. And so atmospheric beasts, or beefs, I keep saying beefs, God. Atmospheric beasts are the strangest flying objects of ufology, even cryptozoology and astrobiology. Ooh, big word. According to eyewitness reports, these beings are apparently living creatures that break all the unusual rules or all the usual rules that biologists apply to living organisms. They appear to be able to levitate without any need for wings. They, as well as their bodies, are even depicted in semi-solid but partially in invisible state. Some of these things characterized are atmospheric jellyfish and sky serpents. Many of you have heard of that. I'm going to go ahead and play this video right now. So you can take a look here and see what these guys actually, some of what they look like. There we go. And let me see if I can make this anywhere better. Maybe I should move out of the way. There. It was my fault. So, sky serpents, many people know, are snakes or elongated serpentine dragon-like entities that appear to fly or float in the air. They typically move in an undulating fashion, as if they were serpents in the air. They are not the same as ordinary flying dragons. Certain sky serpents, tongue twister, resemble brine shrimp because of their thin nature, thin arms, and making them move or glide through the air because they manage to fly without wings. Like most Asian dragons have the ability to fly in lore. So let's get into some sightings. Many atmospheric beast sightings were originally classified as unusual UFO reports, in the same sense that UFOs are described as supposed alien spacecraft or machines of some sort, not in the technical sense of being unidentified objects. Noted Bigfoot author and previously mentioned on the show, Ivan T. Sanderson, devoted an entire book to the theory that many UFOs are actually extremely low density animals native to the clouds. One of the most famous atmospheric beasts is the Crawfordsville monster, sighted in Indiana in 1891, which some researchers classify as the only dragon sighting ever to be reported. So let's get into this Crawfordsville monster. So the Crawfordsville monster is an atmospheric beast that was sighted over Crawfordsville, Indiana in 1891. The cryptid was told by witnesses that it was suggested to be an otherworldly creature. The citizens of Crawford described a violently flapping thing, and they use thing in quotations, with a flaming red eye 20 feet long and 8 feet wide. So this is pretty big. Depictions and descriptions of the creature vary, with some accounts suggesting that they had no head, while others describing it as having glowing red eyes and hot breath. Accounts generally agree that this large rectangular creature, possibly an eel-like in appearance, had several undulating fins down the sides of the body. During a reported second appearance, witnesses described the creature as writhing, squirming, and producing a wheezing-like sound of it as if it was in pain. One of the strangest accounts was when a Methodist pastor named Reverend G.W. Switzer and his wife also saw the animal. This creature writhed as though in great pain, squirmed in agony, and sounded like a wheezing, plaintive noise that hovered about at 300 feet. What's strange about the creature is that it had its eye in his mouth, 3 jaws, and it appeared to be a cyclops. It also seemed to be eel in nature with feathery protrusions coming out the sides and its back. Very, very interesting, that one. 1891. What were they doing? So, that's just one instance. There's other instances of what's called atmospheric jellyfish, which you see on the right here on the screen now. Let's get into what some of those could be. So, an atmospheric jellyfish or flying jellyfish that have been showed and sighted floating in the atmosphere. Atmospheric jellyfish are a type of UFO as well. This unexplained phenomena has been cited by thousands of people across the globe, from China to Norway, including top meteorologists, scientists, military bases, and cities. These sightings prompted speculation on what these creatures really are. According to NASA, these creatures may be the result of space debris reflecting off the northern lights. They love blaming the northern lights for everything, and they even love blaming space debris even more, guys. So, since the mid-20th century, these mysterious creatures have been sighted numerous times and have gained substantial recognition from the media and scientific communities alike. It is one of the few UFO phenomena that to be recognized by the researched scientific community, while additionally still filing headlines of newspapers around the world. There are a few top notable examples. So, one of them is the jellyfish anomaly at Petrozavodsk. The jellyfish anomaly of Petrozavodsk is the first documented sighting of an atmospheric jellyfish, a type of atmospheric beast, by Yuri Gromov and Nikolai Milov above the skies of Petrozavodsk, Russia, in September 20th, 1977. Another one was the Norwegian atmospheric jellyfish sighting in Norway by Pern Arne Milkesen, leading the scientists theorize that it could have been caused by light from an aurora bounced off a space satellite. Man, they love that, huh? They love doing that one. One of the other ones that I want to get to too is probably the most common, which you see on the video as well here. These guys, where are they? Air rods. Air rods. Let me get to them right here. Okay. Air rods are also called flying rods, sometimes referred to as skyfish, and are something like crop circles that even skeptics acknowledge their existence. The only question is what they really are. Air rods have never been seen live with the naked eye, but are picked up by cameras and cell phones all over the world. Are they living creatures, alien probes, or some sort of 3D electromagnetic smudge? To believers in cryptozoology, they base their theory of air rods that they are probably living creatures, probably related to older stories of atmospheric beasts. Did it again. However, these cryptids are a well-known phenomena in the photography world. Air rods are video artifacts created by motion blur, especially in the interlaced video recording and the after image trails of typical flying creatures, especially insects. As such, belief in these cryptids is practically non-existent in those versed in photography. While this species is almost guaranteed to just be this camera glitch, other possibilities include a centipede species with membranes between its legs, allowing it to glide around on windy conditions. This species may be translucent in coloration, making it more difficult to spot without the motion blur effect. Significantly more outlandish theories claim that air rods might be not made of matter, that they're actually electromagnetic fluxes in some other form of energy. Air rods are made of some undiscovered fifth phase of matter. That's interesting. Other than solid, liquid, gas, or plasma. If air rods could have evolved from organisms that are native to clouds, air rods may be tears in reality or condensed strings, and that is a theoretical physical entity posted of the string theory of physics. So, atmospheric beefs, people. Beefs. We're just going to change it to beefs because I keep saying beefs. So, that is it for the atmospheric beasts species. We've seen the air rods. You've seen plenty of them. Many people in Appalachia, actually, if you watch stories and things like that on TV, they claim that they've seen the real life version, no camera, of these things floating in the hills of Appalachia while they're out camping, hunting, you name it. I have to throw that in there because for people who say it's only when you call it on camera, there's many people in Appalachia that have seen some weird things up there. So, finally, before we go, I'm going to talk about a little passion project that I have in the evolution of this show, I guess a little branch of the show, or the evolution of my interests, being an investigator, we are looking, and we have just started, and we is Ian Herring, Tyler Johnson, and myself from Nerd Informer have kicked around the idea of getting a crowd-funded documentary group together. So everything is made. We are open officially. Our crowdfunding site is live, and we would like to make a documentary and investigate Skinwalker Ranch. The hardest part of this is already done. We have the permission of the neighbor of Skinwalker Ranch to let us set up on their site and document the activity. Whether we can get on that property or not, it doesn't matter. We are already next to it. So here's a little video we made in a promo that we want to share with everyone.
So why do you want to investigate Skinwalker Ranch?
Are you kidding? It's Skinwalker Ranch.
The Uinta Basin is one of the most fascinating places on Earth, and it's also one of the most highly investigated places on Earth.
Like every time I've watched a documentary, it always draws me to want to go there even more.
Whether you're looking for paranormal, UFO, cryptid, skinwalkers, and probably a whole lot more.
This is what interests me the most. Never has an investigation been so technologically advanced.
I've personally spent years reading and watching anything that had to do with the Uinta Basin. The Uinta Basin has everything. Highly advanced cameras or highly advanced recording devices, night vision drones. I believe we can use all of those things.
Night vision goggles that we can see at night because we're going to be up all night.
And putting it in a documentary so the world can see how technology can assist us in the hunt of paranormal research.
Cameras just on every site. So we can always have that angle if we need it.
Out of all of the paranormal activity on Skinwalker Ranch, portals, UFOs, cryptid, what interests me the most has to be the cryptids. I'm a monster guy. I want to go see, I want to go check out, I want to find evidence of a monster, of cryptids, of an entity.
In conjunction with the right experiments to really find out a little bit more about what the Uinta Basin is hiding.
Really cool stuff, everyone. Really cool stuff. Check out, please donate. I'll put the link. Yeah, I can put the link right here. If you all just give me a minute. Cool. So we will, here's the link. Please donate. Oh, guess we can't do links in the comments, but that's, watch the show. Keep watching the show. Please just donate to our investigation, and you all will receive a copy. There's plenty of perks on there. You could even get your name in the credits. I think it's a wonderful experience, and we love to do this for everyone. And having the technology of satellite internet, night vision goggles, night vision cameras, FLIR cameras, we're going to definitely catch something. And you want to be on the inside of this project when we do. But that's it for me, everyone. Keep following tonight. We have the Outer Realm coming up. We have a wonderful slate tonight. So please stay weird and stay safe. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. Beyond the Radar, we were broadcasting on 105.3 FM in New Orleans and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. I'm sorry, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast. Stay tuned. Everyone have a good night, and we'll talk to you and catch you later.